All right, we're at the BD Boys podcast. Dun-dun-dun. I got the man, the myth, the legend, the front runner for the MVP at Barber Dyson Ford, Quentin Nichols, with us today. Whoop whoop.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And that's way overboard, but that's a good thing right there. Appreciate that intro.
Hey, I figured you would like that. And also, I wanted to tell our listeners, you just had the big 6-0. It just arose. There was a party here at the Salt Mill,
Yes.
a.k.a. Barber Dyson Ford. To kind of tell us a little bit about that. How'd that transpire?
Well, I think there was a little bit of planning behind it with my lovely daughter and you, matter of fact, and it just kind of came to be, I guess. And somebody sent us on a wild goose chase. I was going to go see our son in Tulsa, and I was kind of put a block on that, and I was kind of mad at everybody, and then got here on Saturday morning because somebody called me on a Friday night, I believe, and I don't know where you were at. But anyway, you were somewhere, and
It wasn't gibberish, was
yeah,
it?
it was a little gibberish. And so I need you to go get this weather for tomorrow, and somebody knew that I was wanting to go, and then I kept going, hey, and trying to lasso David's like lassoing a dadgum tornado, and I was griping and complaining, and then we went on a wild goose chase to Weatherford, and then was told the guy wasn't going to show up. And
Hey, parties are fun.
then we
Surprise
got back,
parties
and
are better.
we got back and walked in the door, and there's quite a few people here. A lot of old friends. Very, very good deal.
So it was a good deal. And for our listeners, I mean, if somebody would have drove by that day, a customer, they would have been like, what is going on? Are we having a blowout sale? Are we just moving all our inventory? I mean, I told you that day, I said, man, we may need to do one of these birthday parties at least once a month.
We need to. I'll have one every year. How's that?
I'm in. I won't surprise you more, though. You kind of got upset. So we got big time of year.
Yes.
It's probably our most busy time of year right now. We have all our FFA stock shows going on. We were supposed to have one tonight. Mother Nature said no, which she's still clear outside.
Yes.
But she's a little cold.
Mm-hmm.
We were supposed to go to Dewey County tonight. Kind of tell people that don't really know about the FFA county shows. Kind of tell them how do we get involved in this and what we do.
Well, we just kind of a few years back just kind of got involved with the Dewey County deal up north, and Jeff Cole's very big in that part, came and asked David if we wanted to do that, and I was kind of appointed as the assistant cook and kind of the guy that runs around and shake hands and all that, get it set up there. And
Very good at that.
we shaking hands or running around?
Yeah, running around.
Okay. Anyway, so we did that and went up and cooked for them, and then it just kind of grew to the Beckham County deal, and we got a Greer County this year, and we just go out. A gentleman that old friend of mine, David Droke, is doing the cooking with Payzone completions, and he does it on his own time. He goes out there, brings this big old cooker out there, and cooks outstanding. And I mean, I think over the 3-week period, I think we cooked for a little over 1,000 kids and parents and stuff at the premium sales. So David does a great job, and it's a lot of fun, and we get to. So I'm kind of from the area up around there in Taloga when I was young, and I get to see a lot of people I knew. And then, we're going to go down to Greer County next week, and then at Mangum, and then we're going to the Beckham County the next week, which is probably the biggest. I mean, you're looking at probably feeding anywhere from 500 to 600 people. So it's a very, very good thing, and it's for the kids. It's at their premium sales where the kids run their animals through, and people bid on them, and they make a little extra money to help pay for their feed and stuff throughout the year.
The thing I love about it, I mean, just when you started here, we were still going to the shows and bidding on these kids and buying these kids, and at the end of the night, you always felt a little guilty because you can't. I mean, I guess you can. You can open up the wallet,
sure,
but you know what I mean. You can't hit every kid, and I feel like with doing these meals. You hit not only all these kids that are showing all these exhibitors, but their families, their friends. And I've seen, we always come back from it and go, gosh dang, I mean, everybody was just so thankful, and that's not why we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're doing it because we love the ag community.
Absolutely.
And we want to help out in any way we can, give back, because obviously they're customers of ours, so we want to get back to their programs. But I mean, it's just amazing what it does.
It is absolutely phenomenal, the feedback we get, and when I kind of first went to work here, like you said, we were just going to the sales, and you might buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or bid on things, and you just, like you said, you walk out going, hey, we missed this one, or we missed that one, or whatever. And Jeff, it was kind of a blessing when Jeff came and asked us to do that, because then we figured out, hey, that's something we want to do at a lot of different places. So, I think that it hits, like you said, it hits all the families. Everybody's very appreciative, and it's something that you just the handshakes and the thank yous and all that stuff. And I know, like you said, it's not, but we all want to be patted on the back a little bit sometimes. And
why not? It doesn't hurt anything.
Yeah, no, and it's to give back to our community, basically what it is, and so I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, and I mean, I haven't, this because we're around each other every day. I haven't quite moved up the chain of command yet to get to do the all day prepping at these shows. I'm probably thankful for it, because you have to have a little endurance.
Yes.
You have to be there quite early, and it's a long day.
It's not a sprint. You have to kind of slow down and just kind of run the course a little bit. And David, you kind of have to, there's a lot of helping, and you got to kind of pull. Hey, let's just slow down here a little bit.
If you do get there, I did get there a little early at Dewey County last year, and gosh, he had that old steak on there. Had some little teaser food.
Little teaser food. There's a little extra steak and some sausage and a little. I think one year I think he might have cooked me and him a little quail one year, and so there's some perks that go to that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about trying to at least make one of them a little early this year, but no, I wanted to hit on that because it is our busiest time of year as far as like being involved in not only the school system but just the overall Western Oklahoma. That's we talked about it. Colin and I did the first podcast. That's the ag industry is our largest sector out here.
Absolutely.
Along with oil and gas, but the ag is as we know, is very, very consistent, and it's throughout the years. It's important to give back to that industry. Absolutely. and those kids.
Well, my deal is I just feel like that we in Western Oklahoma, I've lived in several different places and I've loved everywhere I went, but this is a different type of person out here, and it's an absolute. We live in the greatest place you could live in the world today. We live in the greatest place we can live in, and the people out here are so appreciative and helpful and understanding and everything, and it's just an absolute honor to be able to live out here and get to be a part of it.
Well, and we can take that. We can segue into kind of the next thing that I wanted to talk about. Our intern, Mr. Perky over there, we were at a lunch meeting today, and our city manager, presented some numbers, what's going on in Western Oklahoma right now. And, I mean, numbers speak for themselves. I didn't know we only had a little over 11,000 people in this town. I guess just because we pull from such a big area.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, the sales tax dollars that are spent in Elk City, Oklahoma, per capita, pretty stinking amazing. And in that, I mean, this town, I mean, they got a bunch of projects going on. It's a thriving community. Barbara Dyson Ford has been here for 30 years of it, and we hope to continue to be here for 30 more years of it. But I kind of want to talk about our city. Yeah. I mean, all the things that are going on around here, and I agree with you. It's the greatest place.
You couldn't find a better place, and that's why I moved back. I mean, I've lived in South Texas. I've lived in Eastern Oklahoma. I lived in clearing the Panhandle, and I'm going to tell you something. People don't. I know we complain about the wind, and we complain about the weather, and we complain about it being hot and cold. And it just. But I'm going to tell you something. It's the people are phenomenal. Our city is great. You know, I've always been a believer in, you know, people say, well, we're doing really good. And my deal is and kind of have that same tie it to Barbara Dyson. I've heard your dad say it, and I've heard you say it. Just because we're doing good don't mean we can't do better.
That's right.
And I just hope that Elk City continues to go down that track and continue to every day get better. So
I agree. And speaking of getting better, Saturday marks Truck Month, and it's actually kind of a month and a half. And I think this will be. I should have got my numbers in here, but I'm going off the top of my head.
that's a big old head.
It's a big old head. So there's, I think it's 48 years in a row. Ford has been the top selling truck in America. Could be 49, but who's counting? You know,
Yeah.
once you do so many, you kind of lose track. But talking about just because you're doing really good doesn't mean you can do better.
That's right.
And I feel like that in our industry, in the Ford industry especially, Ford does a lot of things to help us dealers and their products be the best. Truck Month starts Saturday. It's a month and a half. We have more inventory than we've had in 4 or 5 years. I mean, I can just listen to the guys and everybody talk. I mean, you've heard it too.
Yep.
Customers coming in, looking at pickups, asking when Truck Month's starting. People are excited. We don't even know what Ford's going to do yet. I mean, I told somebody yesterday, I said, man, it's Truck Month. We have a lot of inventory. I'm thinking they're going to put some big incentives, low interest. I don't know that because obviously in the past we thought they were going to do something and they didn't. But they send out some cute banners, which were really nice hanging tags.
That's always nice.
Yeah. I think I watched Dad take him back to the parts department and chunk him in the trash.
File 13.
Yeah, I was like, man, come on, man.
There you go.
But no, that's coming up Saturday. I'm super excited. I think our team here is excited.
Absolutely, it is.
From the front to the back to service. We have an incredible service team that continues to get better every day. But I'm excited to see what's going on with Truck Month. I mean, just in these last 12 days, Ford came out. They put $10,000 on a 24 Edge, which is just ridiculous. I hope we sell it today or tomorrow because those incentives end tomorrow.
Come on.
And then we got all these rebates on the Expeditions, $9,000. We got a new body style Expedition coming out in April. That's exciting in itself. But they put all of these incentives that we hadn't seen in so long to move these vehicles out. And, I mean, it's our job to get consumers excited about that because it is exciting.
Yes.
I mean, stuff was overpriced for years.
Yeah.
And not the saying, I always love to tell people this. In those years, the COVID years, we'll just call them, people were price gouging. And you know this because you heard it over and over. During that time, we didn't price gouge.
No.
We sold stuff honestly. We sold stuff fairly when these other dealers, and I'm not taking a poke at anybody, especially up in the metro, were selling X amount of dollars over sticker.
Yes.
And we're seeing a bunch of these people that that have negative equity in the trade right now. Ford's doing something about that, getting these incentives out here so they can help these consumers. It wasn't right of those dealers to do it, but they did it. People bought them.
Well, I asked that question, and I asked the question. I was kind of new to the business and didn't really understand what was going on, and people would come in and say, "Man, they priced something for me $10,000 over up in the city," and I'm like, "Well, we're not doing this." And again, I was new to the business. I didn't understand what was happening, and I just basically said, "Well, why?" I asked you and your dad, "Why aren't we doing that?" And I think you were the one that told me, says, "We don't do that. We're going to get what we can, and we're here, in business, but we're not going to do that kind of stuff." And that kind of made me think a little bit about kind of how, again, you go back that Western Oklahoma way. So,
Well, I mean, what's our goal at Barbara Dyson? It's repeat business, customers for as long as they're living.
Yes.
I mean, that's what we stinking want. We want to see those people day in, day out. I mean, because you get to visit with most of our customers that come in to service.
That's my job, by the way, is
Yeah.
I just get to visit with people. And to touch on the excitement, One thing that I'm excited about, probably as much as anything, is I'm going to get to see David and Ray lose their minds when people are coming in here buying things. So it's just going to be an absolute I love it. I'll be busy because they'll be pointing me in different directions, but that is just going to be an absolute comedy show.
Yeah, I think during Truck Month, you don't really know this yet, but I think you're going to be appointed as like a Ray's kind of personal secretary.
Well, we may have to renegotiate my contract on that deal.
No, but I mean, talking about that, the market. I always want people to know that we care about them. We're never and here's the flop side of that. Now you got people coming in saying, well, they're pricing it this far under up there now. I'm like, well, those are the same people that were trying to gas you 6 months to a year ago. There's no trust, there's no validity. How many times have we went in the middle of the night, early in the morning, whenever, and got vehicles for people, got them out of a jam, got them fixed up on the road. We're not perfect. You know that.
No.
By no means, but we're going to do whatever it takes.
Yeah, we're willing to fix the problem.
Yeah, we're willing to fix the problem. If it's our mistake, we own up to it. We do it daily. It's just part of business. But man, I feel like we talked about in the first podcast. I feel like there's a lot of exciting stuff going on at BD Ford.
Absolutely.
We have. I mean, I would say it, bar none, we have the best staff we've ever had.
Yeah.
It's weird because I always say you spend more time up here than you do with your family.
That's right.
And there is a lot of bickering, but we all get over it, and we work as a team and make it work in the customer's favor. So I mean, it's exciting. I was trying to think, there was something else.
Well, I'll hit on the service side of it a little bit. You were talking about what going above and beyond, and I'll be honest with you, I've dealt with other dealerships before, way back when, and I don't know how many times we've sent somebody down to Midland, Odessa, to trailer a vehicle back that's broke down. We went up, got over to Clinton, had to just go to Clinton and trailer one back yesterday. Going to Oklahoma City, picking one up. We drove a trailered one down to, I think it was Dallas Fort Worth here a year or two ago, and gave the people trailered one that they could drive. They drove it back. We trailered the one that broke down back. So I don't really feel like there's a whole lot of dealerships out there that are going to do that. Yeah. And it's just an absolute. I was dumbfounded, 5 or 6 years ago when I came to work here that, we're going to go do this. We're going to drive to whatever. And I get to go on some of those trips.
Yeah.
But
to your advantage.
Yeah, you don't usually send me on those trips anymore because I'm not going to do the overnight 30-hour deal. It's going to take about a 3-day trip for me and a golf and good food.
Well, but you're not the only one, because I'm pretty sure we have a lot of drivers. One in particular yesterday, Mr. Clem Reyna, texted me. He was down in Atoka. And he said, reading at Reba's. I said, oh, cool. Who's we? He said, I took my wife. We're on a date. It's Valentine's Day week. I said, oh, well, I guess.
Barbara Dyson Valentine's Day.
That's right. I mean, hey, we're all about our employees too. So, no, it's a fun time. There's just so much stuff going on right now leading into the summer. Our favorite time of year, because it's when, especially this year, because it's when I get to just show everybody.
How are you going to pay me this year when you get your butt whipped?
I'm going to own you on the golf course.
0-3 and have yet to be paid.
Listen, here's the deal. I'm investing in my mentals this year from a business perspective, from a golf perspective. I think this is my year.
When you turn 60, you usually get to move up. But I'm not going to. I'm going to embarrass you from back there where you pups play from.
Hey.
And just for the record, all you pups, get ready because I'm coming.
Hey, it's going to be a fun time. Let's rock and roll. Let's segue into Truck Month. The myth. The legend. Big Trust.
One of those things.
Appreciate you.
Legendary. I'm not a legend. I'm just legendary. Some of the stuff I've done.
Hey, appreciate you.
You bet. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Even the stuff we get into, I still appreciate you.
There you go.
All right. Hey, that's the BD Boys podcast.
Hey.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.